Hi guys, Karen here. So we gave an update and uploaded 3 videos in one day a couple days ago, which was a big deal. Since then, we have gotten a couple asks on our Tumblr, on my Tumblr, about DID in general and alters and really good educational questions. So we thought that the best way to answer this person's questions would be to do a video. So this person asked, how many alters do you have? And when one alter is present, do you, Karen, know that it is an alter, or do you not remember anything of it at all? I have dissociative states, but I don't have any alters. I just kind of shut down. So I'm wondering how you feel to have an entirely different person essentially taking over your body. I don't mean to be offensive, I just want to understand. Okay, well, these are a lot of really great questions. I'll start at the beginning. How many alters do you have? Well, that's a loaded question because I'm fairly certain that I'm not aware of all of them. I'm very early in the processing stage of my trauma therapy. So as of right now, there is me, James, who is 19, his sister Anya, who age slides. She can be anywhere between 14 and 19 years old. Then we have Maggie, who is in her late 30s. She's our mother protector kind of figure. Then we have the littles, which start with Hannah, who is 9 years old, Zoe, who is 6, Connor, who is 3, and Tommy, who is between 2 and 3. We're not really sure. So right now we know we have 8 personalities, including myself. We recently became aware of 2 more alters who guard the entrance in our world, in our inside world, to the dark and shadowy place which we believe holds a lot of traumatic memories and bad things. Their names are Molly and Aiden, and so far we don't know a lot about them, but they do influence numbing behaviors and dissociative states in general as coping mechanisms and deter anyone from accessing those very dark parts. So the short answer is there are 7 alters. The next part of this person's question was, when one alter is present, do you, Karen, know that it is an alter, or do you not remember anything at all? Well, it really depends on who is present, which doesn't really answer the question, but let me give you an example. Recently, James and I have gotten very good at being co-conscious with each other. So this means that if you think of a DID system like a vehicle, like a car, most of the time, whoever is fronting, for example's sake, let's say me, I'm in the driver's seat. I'm in full control of the car. I'm aware of what's going on. I see all the mirrors. Everything is good. When James and I are co-conscious, it's like I am in the passenger seat. So I don't have full control over what's going on or where the car is going, but I can provide input and I'm aware of what's going on while he's fronting and using my body. With other alters, like Anya and some of the little ones, I am either in the back seat, not able to give input, just able to observe and watch things happen, or I am in the trunk, or the third row if you're thinking of a minivan. I have no control over the situation whatsoever. I don't remember. I don't know what happened when that altar was out. I have no recollection of anything. So it varies based on the situation too. For example, if it's a positive trigger, like we're on Tumblr and Zoe sees a picture of a puppy, she'll pop out. And that's obviously a really positive one because she's excited, she wants to click on it or do something. But if it's a negative trigger and someone is yelling or I feel threatened, then someone like James is more likely to come forward and push me into that third row seating or into the trunk where I have no connection with the present moment and the trigger that's going on. So it really is a case-by-case basis, but I've been working very hard in therapy over the past couple weeks in order to increase my awareness of my alters and extend periods of co-consciousness with them. So James and I are getting very good at it. Zoe and I are practicing because she gets to play with an alter from another system sometimes. And when they get to play, I'm trying to be more aware and let her do things, but also retain control of my body so I can answer my phone and do other things that need doing while she is coloring, for example, with this friend. The next part of your question deals with how does it feel to have an entirely different person essentially taking over your body? Well, that is a very good question, and it's very tricky to describe, so please bear with me. When James and I switch, I'm more aware of him, so I have been practicing physically, well, not physically, but in my mind, stepping away from the controls and letting him step forward and feeling him step forward, being aware of that change. So that feels, as strange as that may sound, it actually feels a lot better because I have some control over the situation. And we are treating each other more as equals, which is a nice balance to retain. There is a phenomenon that another system on Tumblr coined and hopefully is patenting called getting switch slapped, which we love. We think it's hysterical. But that is a phenomenon when you have no idea what's going on. You didn't plan to switch, like nothing about the situation is controlled at all, and it just happens, and it's jarring and often results in a headache, at least for us. Big headache, sometimes even a migraine. It is very jarring to lose time as well. It's always, that's probably one of the things I like least about switching, because I like to keep things in order and in control and neat, and I like to know what's going on when, and if we've been like a revolving door and there have been so many different alters taking over and doing things, it's just very disorienting. And when I come back from that type of experience, I often I'll just pick up where I left off before someone switched with me. So it's very jarring to come back 2-3 days later and realize that I apparently did and said all of these things that weren't actually me. And it's a scary feeling, but I'm hoping through therapy to reduce some of that. And it is working. Like I said, James and I are getting really good at co consciousness and co awareness. Anya and I have had it a couple times. The main problem that we have, though, is that Anya is very volatile emotionally, and I am very susceptible to catching her emotions. And I am not in any way, shape, or form ready to deal with what she's dealing with. So that gets a little tricky. But now I am going off topic, so I hope I answered some of your questions. Please, I just want to remind everyone, if anyone watches this, you are more than welcome to ask us any questions. In fact, the more questions that we answer, the more we understand ourselves and can help those people in our lives that we want to explain this to understand as well. So please don't ever feel like you're bothering us, or if a question is too triggering, we will let you know. But honestly, for right now, you can